Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I thought we would do some abstract paintings. I really liked that one where we did the concentric circle and the abstract in the same color palette. I'm kind of interested in doing that as a color palette challenge today. So I'm going to do it in this Color Cube Volume 2 by Sarah Renee Clark, and I do link all of these on my favorites page, and that favorites page is linked to the description. And I'm thinking let's do cube card 413 because I've never done this one, and I'm like, I don't usually work in these colors, purple and green, so let's try this one. So I'm in the Masha's colors because that's what I'm obsessed with currently, and I've pulled Dark Planet, which we'll put that down there. I've pulled Viola, I've pulled Ultramarine Purple, and I've pulled Cobalt Green hue because it was kind of an interesting green. It was between these two, and this one seems to separate out really cool. So even though there were 5 colors there, these are watercolors, and we can kind of get them to, I don't know, fan out and make other colors basically when we wet them down. So these are super saturated, but I'm going to go ahead and spray them and get them started and just see what can we make today. So I'm using my 1/2 inch oval wash by Princeton Neptune. Got a thing of water over here. And let's just see. So I'm going to do a concentric circle one. And I have pulled out the Bao Hong paper. This is one piece because I kind of want to see two if I'm going to love it as much as the one I did on the Hanamule paper. It's the Bao Hong Academy watercolor paper, and this is about 12 inches by 8 inches. So I have just cut it in half. I just eyeballed it with a ruler. I put a ruler there, but I just kind of eyeballed it. It's not perfect. And I think I'm going to start, so we're going to do concentric circles, and maybe I want the center to be the green. And I'm going to go wonky because, you know, I like when these look kind of wonky. I want to see some color variations. Maybe some dark and light and stuff like that. And I want the colors to kind of run into each other. I can kind of feel these don't run as much as they run on the Hanamule paper. So that's kind of interesting. It's almost like they're soaking up the color even faster, but not running and spreading. That's kind of interesting. I love this paper for a lot of the projects and haven't really like stopped to compare one piece beside the other. I mean, we may need to do that. We may need to just have a piece of the Hanamule on one side and a piece of the Bao Hong on the other side and just see what we can force out of it, basically, to see how different they can be. But I feel like these are not running and merging quite the same, which is a little unexpected. I'm just going to go ahead and swipe some color through here. I mean, this is how you figure out what your paints do. You do experiments kind of like this to see like what. I'm going to go ahead and just swoosh that paint to the edge there. Yeah, this, I think these are, let me just pull this over here. This is the Hanamule paper sample. Let's just do a test while we're in here playing and see what different. Oh yeah, see, okay, big difference in the way the water does with the watercolor. Look at that. That is actually a gigantic difference in the two. So this one, that paint just soaked right in there way faster than I kind of even expected because I'm used to working on this paper. And this paper, it gives you more working time. So even though they're both 100% cotton paper, and I do like the Bao Hong, I gotta tell you, for this concentric circle painting exercise, I like the Hanamule better. So this might be our one and only opportunity here to test this out on that, now that I know for sure what the difference is and how much better I like the Hanamule paper, with especially with the watercolor, because look how saturated that watercolor stayed, and here on the Bao Hong it actually soaked in and desaturated some. I'm actually surprised at that. I wasn't expecting it. I've never done a direct comparison like that to see what differences that was going to create for me. So still a good secondary choice of paper. Does not do the same as I expected from the paper that I am always using and pulling out, which kind of sucks because this paper is basically doubled in price, and I ordered quite a bit before all the price hikes happened. But man, it has basically doubled in price on us, and that makes me sad. Okay, I'm gonna have to let this dry. Not at all what I was expecting. That's kind of that. Oh, let's blend that in. Uh-oh. Did not mean to do that. Let's get that to go ahead and come on over. Yeah, this paper definitely soaks it in way faster. I love this paper for other stuff that I've done. That was not the outcome I expected. And now I'm really glad to have done that side-by-side comparison, because I know when I want to do these paintings, I'll have to pull that paper. I'll have to pull that paper out. That's a big deal, the way that I just did that. Yeah, this paper just eats the color. That is way less saturated than this. So if we wonder why, when we look at my paintings, they're so incredibly saturated, even with a watercolor, it's the paper. The paper is the big difference there. And I don't know how, at some point, I just decided, oh, I love this paper, and it wasn't too expensive compared to, say, like the Arches paper, and now it and Arches probably are going way up in price, but it was really reasonable compared to, you know, the nice watercolor papers, because it's a nice one too, but it was like a better price, and now none of them are a good price. This does not act the same at all. Like, it totally ate the color, it drank the water, it desaturated the color quite a bit, so that's a big difference on what this paper will do. So that'll kind of inform my decisions going forward in when I decide to maybe pull that paper, the Balhong, out versus the Hahnemühle. But when I do the lovely, especially the concentric circle ones, I kind of want that other paper. Now we know. Let's let this dry and I'll be right back. Okay, now that it's dry, look, it is kind of similar in the color. I mean, this did dry a little bit lighter than what it was, but what I really actually like is the way some of these colors look as they kind of dried and then granulated a little bit, and the color that I ended up with on the paper. So some of that has to do obviously with the watercolor that I chose to use, but I was initially, when we were talking about this a moment ago, super kind of sad at where it was kind of going. Let's pull out some tempera sticks. These are the Shuttle Art tempera sticks. Just because this one, I looked over and this one was like, me. Sometimes you just got to answer the call of whatever it is you look over and it says, pick me. Look at that color. Let's just pull those two. Why not? And I'm kind of seeing some paint sticks, some paint pens over here in some pretty colors. These are the Thule Art, like, let's see what these are. These are the Thule Art Earth Tones, and they're just lovely. But I did actually happen to also just see some of the watercolor crayons that I don't pull out very often. These are the Marabu Art Crayons. Are they too bright? I kind of feel like I might want to use one of these, like maybe the green one. How vivid are these? Let's use this as art. See, that's pretty vivid, but it's like the right color also. Okay, I kind of like that color. Let's think about this. We're thinking here. We're testing out. This was good to have a little sample sheet here, wasn't it? Here's one I haven't even opened. Let's see what color this is. Ooh, I love that one. Okay, that one's a plus. These are art crayons by Marble Art again. This is like an upgrade from, say, like Temper Sticks is what I might consider this here. What is this? I don't think that one's it. Okay, I like those. Let's leave those out. Just looking at all some options that I have just kind of sitting around the table here. I've got some Neocolor 2 crayons. We don't like the orange. There's no orange in our color palette, but it was kind of an option just to kind of think. Okay, so I feel like maybe... Okay, another difference. Oh my gosh, look at this. Another difference. This is so textured compared to this. That the crayon is almost very granulated in itself. It's not a smooth line like I'm used to on some of these other pieces that we've done. So even though that's not my favorite, I'm going to go ahead and add it in there like we meant to do that. That's the secret. If you don't love it, do it again. Do it like 3 times, and that way it wasn't a mistake. Okay, I'm gonna, oh no, I just liked that. Oh, for some reason that grabbed me. Okay, we're gonna do it over here. This is the time to play and experiment. I don't know why, but I liked that. Let's get this, oh yeah, let's do this one. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna, all right, we're gonna do big dots. That's what we're gonna do. Sometimes things just come out. Just come out. Kind of want some kind of going off the paper over there. Okay. Oh yeah. This one's good. I like this. This was a good choice. This is one of the pastel colors. All right, let's get this in here. Look at that. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. Let's do this one. And I'm doing it real light, like I'm barely holding it down. But I just want to have some other concentric circles calling to us there. Ooh, what do we want to do with this one? I feel like I need some graphite. You knew that was coming, didn't you? Yeah, I'm feeling it over here. Let's see though. Okay, let's do that first. We'll come back to that. Feeling like I need some graphite lines or marks or something in my abstract over here, so let's just do it. Yeah, it's way more textured than the Hahnemuhle paper, so even though it's a very nice secondary choice in watercolors, probably first choice in everything else, because it'll layer things on top of it like acrylic paints and stuff just fine. It's definitely harder, more textured, does not lay the materials down in the same way as the other one. Let's just do some of this over here because I'm feeling it. Now I've kind of come to think of the concentric circles as eyeballs. And so when I come back in with lines like this, I'm kind of imagining them being the eyelashes. Not that I want it to be exactly where an eyelash would be, but I'm just saying it's the elements of the eyeball, because you've got like the center and then you've got the decorative things that happen in the iris, including the lines that kind of happen in the iris, but I'm kind of considering these in an abstract way, the eyelashes. They all end up super cool, so don't even hate it. Okay, so I liked that. Let's see what we got. Let's shake up the marker. I don't have these out enough. Almost thinking, should we throw in a surprise like a blue? I know it's not in my color card, and I just use those kind of as a guide. Ooh, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Okay, that made me happy. All right, pretty blue surprise dots here. And whatever that was that we used, that green one that had the blue kind of come out of it. Yeah, I use the color cards as my guide, not my absolute. And when I get inspired to kind of throw something else in there because maybe that color already pulled itself out and spoke to us, I don't fret. I just go for it. we just let it come on out and play. It was talking to us and it wanted to come and visit. Oh, this is such a pretty color. That's the Thule Art Earth. I think that means earth tone because that is a blue. It is not earth. I do not see where it has a color written on it though. Huh. Oh, color 34. I'm like, what is up with these manufacturers not putting colors on these things? Let me tell you, that drives me insane. Let me tell you the other thing that drives me insane. When you see book reels and book recommendations there on my Facebook ads, because I've purchased a few of the ones that I've seen, so now I see them like all over the place. You know what really drives me insane? They do not put the book title in any of the teasers. I'm like, people, give me a freaking break. I'm an old lady here. Work with the old people. Tell me what book you're talking about, because having to search it down or figure it out or read the comments for somebody to finally be like, this is the book, is seriously the most annoying thing ever. You'd sell 10 times more if you just told me the book. Because some of them I'm just like, I'm not going to buy that book just because you couldn't be bothered to tell me the name. First world problems, I know. Okay, that was pretty. I liked that a lot. Now I'm kind of thinking I should have put that over here, huh? Yeah, let's just do it. Feeling it. We're going to blue dot it on this side too, because that's an exciting color that popped up. I do like the way that the tempera paints reacted on here, and I like tempera paints because they dry fast and then you can draw right on top of them. I like that. I was about to say, was that the tempera paint? But that was. I'm like, which one did I actually use there? Yes, that was correct. Okay, I like the blue dot. Blue was good. What color was this one? This one was 27. Did I use it? I feel like I need some extra of that pink. It's kind of out there hanging out going, wow, look at me. But it's kind of like, why is it hanging out? So let's just add some other little tiny points of that color in there so that it didn't seem like it came out of nowhere, which we know it did, but we don't want it to feel like that. Okay, now I like that better. Okay, good deal. I kind of feel like, I don't know, what am I feeling like? Kind of want to throw something else in there. Let's see. Oh, how about a pastel? Oh, look at there. Let's see. What color is that? It's a color I've not used. Ooh, that's a good one. All right, where do we want to put that? See, it's kind of like a yummy, yummy lavender there. Okay, that was fun. Do we mean to put it there? It's there now. There we go. I like it. I like it. Alright, I kind of feel like this needs something. But what does it need? Does it need the purple? I don't want to do another dot. We got dot, 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 dots. Maybe we can do some dashes in here and kind of separate out that vividness of those. Okay, I like that. Let's do that over here. But I'll just go ahead and do it in 3 lines. How about that? Ooh, okay, I like that. That was that was fun. All right, I need one more thing. What do we need? What are we calling for? Did we use this? I don't think we used the green. I feel like it could use the green though, so maybe let's just do it. Okay, that's kind of different. See, that looks like eyelashes. Don't put your hand in the paint. So I kind of feel like maybe we'll come in with some of this color, because my goal is on these is to use the same colors on both sides in some way. Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. I'm liking that. Do we need some metallics? I don't know how I get to the end and I'm like, remember, maybe we need a little bit of metallic. I don't feel like this one really, I don't know, does it? Maybe that's the little extra oopie-doopie I needed it to be. Alright, this is my Kuretake Gold Mica ink that I just used a pipette to get it into my fine line bottle. And we're going to do it because it kind of finishes off these for me with a little bit of the shimmer. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Look at that. This is what it needed. See, now I feel like we need a big whoa. And up here. Oh, and some gold dots, and I think we'll be there. Okay, there we go. Now I'm feeling like we got there today. Okay, that's super fun. I feel like I'm there. Let's let that gold dry and I'll be right back. All right, let's see what we got. Let's peel the tape. Now we'll say, in the favor of the bao hong, does not stick to our tape. Doesn't tear, the tape doesn't tear the paper, which I love. I love testing all the papers out and finding the ones that don't tear up my paper, that I actually like the way that it also reacts to my paint. So the Hahnemühle will always be my first love. This will be a B+, second love. Because it is not the same as the other, but when it's all dry, I do actually love how they turned out. So we won't write it off yet, but check it out. Let's cut that in half and hope I don't get paint on it that I didn't intend. Let's see here. Just kind of thinking in my mind as I'm moving that back and forth, but let's put it about right there. All right, good job, good job. All right, this was definitely colors that I wanted to play with, but I would never have picked for myself. Not quite sure I would use them again in a project in the same way with the colors. That's just not my color palette, but I do love how these turned out. Look how fun that was. This is like the ultimate test out something you love to do, test out something kind of abstracty, use the same color palette, see what it looks like. Let this be a color palette challenge and pull out all the supplies that maybe you haven't pulled out in a while, which for us were the Malibu art crayons and the Thule art acrylic pens and the temper sticks by Shuttle Arts. These were ones that we don't pull out too often. I do like to pull out the graphite pencil, so we pull that one out quite a bit. And I did have a Posca crayon in there that sometimes we see a lot and sometimes we don't see for a while. So it was all about experimenting with maybe a favorite supply, which would have been the watercolor, and a whole bunch of other supplies that we haven't pulled out in a while, just to see what do they do and what can we do with this. So I hope you have fun painting with me today. It was a great paint day. Learned great new things, tested out the difference between my two favorite papers, and I'll see you guys next time.